awfully proud of these guys. We continue to grow. We continue to grow. We still do a lot of things that that are wrong sometimes, and we're in the wrong place sometimes, and all that kind of stuff. But we continue to grow, and we continue. More importantly, we continue to grow together. I said this outside, and I probably haven't said this enough. But I'm tell you what. Now I've learned an awful lot from some of these guys on this football team, even with them being as young as they are. It's just been an incredible team, and I'm learning an awful lot about them. And one thing that I probably don't say enough, and I should say more of, is man, God is good. He really is, and He has blessed me. Blessed me with the ability and the opportunity to lead these guys. And even if the score was turned around, I'd tell you the same thing. I am awfully proud of this bunch of kids. I don't know the stats. I know that we didn't play well defensively at times, especially at the beginning. We didn't play well offensively in the end. I thought we kind of teetered out at the end. However, who cares? Because at the end of the game, we made a big stop. They tried to go for a field goal, shut them down, missed the field goal. We take the offense back on the field. We had kind of been sputtering a little bit. I was trying to get a little bit too creative at times, and and then we give it to the birthday boy, Jensen Fagans. It was his birthday today, so shout out to him. And we give it to him out there in the flats, and he gives us a first down, and we're able to run the clock out, go victory, and just super proud. It was a heck of a locker room. Y'all missed it. A lot of dancing. Yeah. What I thought to begin with, in the first half, we just couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback. I thought they did a tremendous job of protecting their quarterback, and we couldn't get any pressure on him. With just a four-man rush, we started having to create some things and bring some pressures at him and try to get in the backfield. And and the problem with that is a lot of times when you do that, you're susceptible to him running, especially when you got an athletic kid back there. And there was a couple of times that we thought we were going to get home on some blitzes, and he did what he does. I mean, he's a good athlete, and he got out on the perimeter and made some big runs for him. But I thought overall, the defensive staff did a tremendous job of just scratching and clawing, trying to put some things together and trying to keep him in the pocket. And I will say this: I thought for the most part we limited a lot of big plays. I didn't see a lot of big plays by them. I thought they had to earn some things. As far as explosive plays. I know they had some big runs, and some things like that. We got out of gaps and some certain things, but I thought that we did a good job limiting the explosive plays. They scratched and clawed their way back in it, and then I can't say enough about them at the end of the game right there for that big stop, man. That was huge.
You talk a little bit about the offensive line. This is 2 weeks in a row where KD has been able to do whatever he wants, whatever.
Yeah, they're growing, man. They're growing. I thought we put a good plan together to keep those guys in successful situations, and up there, and we did some things in our pass protection schemes, and because I'm gonna tell you what now. I mean, that football team, that Tennessee State football team, they're very deserving of that 25 ranking now. I mean, when they come out on the field, when we were warming up and they came out on the field, I'm telling you, I told my team keep looking at the scoreboard. I didn't want them to turn around and look down there, because they're a scary bunch. But I thought that other than the last play, or the second to the last drive, when Ebenezer got in the backfield and our right tackle tripped, because we had a little wing package, and the wing back tripped him up, and that was pretty much the only time that they got back there. They had a good little scheme now on the runs. They were doing some things to bottle those runs up and pushing it to the perimeter, and they had a good little scheme there. But I thought KD did a really, really good job with the decisions that he made tonight, and obviously he was able to do that by those front five guys up there. Well, yeah, we had a little package that we put together, try to overload a side, and had some screens off of it, some QB runs, and then we had a little, basically a little vertical package, and we hit DJ on it one time for a big gain, and hit Gandy on it. I think we hit Blackburn on it one time, and so that was kind of the I will say in the second half, that's probably what I regret a little bit offensively is we didn't come back to. I got a little too cute in the second half. We didn't come back to some things that were really working well like that. And in hindsight, I probably should have just kept calling. Old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And but that's good to see Gandy. I tell you one thing about Gandy, man. I'm glad you mentioned him because he's a for him to have the year that he had at the beginning, and in the last 2 weeks, he's been there, but he hadn't. He had the big, huge reception tonight, and that was probably where the majority of his yards came. But man, you can talk about a team player now. I mean, a selfless kid. He doesn't care who gets the ball. He just wants us to be successful. He just wants the offense to be successful because he knows that's going to make the team successful. And man, what a tremendous kid, man, he is. Because he just goes out there, and if he's got a block, he'll block. If he ain't getting the ball, he's not getting the ball. It doesn't matter to him. So hats off to him, man.
Tennessee State came in with the most interceptions in conference play with 12. And KD was spotless. Just if it wasn't Tyree Gray's touchdown over the shoulder, it was Demetric Johnson. With 2 long touchdowns. Like, what's going on in KD's progressions? What's he doing tonight?
I don't know. We try to simplify it as much as we can, and I guess he's finally started listening to me. The quarterback position is pretty easy. All you do is you throw it to the guy with your colored jersey on, and he's done that. So, we try to. He would laugh if he was in here. We try to simplify the process as much as we can. Everybody makes a big deal out of all of this checking and coverage and all these long play calls and all of that kind of stuff. And we just we try to go out there and we try to put the ball in people's hands who can go score. And he's done a really good job of that. I mean, a lot of that is he's I thought at the beginning of the year he's kind of progressed because at the beginning of the year he used to take a lot of shots and really tried to force some things, and he always wanted the big score now. And I think he's doing a lot better job of taking a little dump off in the flats. Shoot like the first down that gave us the game. You know what I mean? That was actually a sucker. That was a hitch and go play, and we just dumped it out there. He didn't force anything, dumped it out there, let us get the first down. And I think that's what's helped him in his progressions, is just trying to take what the defense gives him.
Jesse led you in yardage again tonight, but if you didn't look at the stats, you wouldn't think that would be the truth. Can you just talk about how the offense is really diversified, especially as the league?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing that we're doing, and I should say that's the best thing that KD's doing is getting everybody involved. The past really the whole season. That's the one thing that we've been able to say is after each game, we've been able to go, hey, these guys got touches, this guy got touches, Gandy got touches, Blackburn got touches, these young kids get touches, and legitimate touches, and I think he's doing a good job distributing the ball because obviously that's what makes it difficult for defenses. If you got one guy and you're going to line them up on the right, well, then they can tilt their defense to the right. You line them up on the left, they can tilt their defense to the left. And I think KD's doing a nice job of figuring out where they want to be and going the opposite way. And then I think all of those guys are doing a really good job of coming up with some big plays. I mean, Tyree Gray, golly, man, true freshman. That kid last year, he's playing high school football, and he just goes versus the 25th ranked team in the country and catches a vertical route in the back of the end zone. And just to be honest with you, boys, in case you didn't know, he's not even a receiver. He was a quarterback in high school. You know what I mean? So it's even better just to see these guys develop. Because anybody who's been around me in recruiting, they know that's our mission statement for this program is to develop these kids athletically, academically, socially, spiritually, and seeing these guys develop makes me awfully proud. And then to get a win on top of that's just icing on the cake.
Not only are you just developing and learning how to win close games, but I think you're doing it against two ranked teams. That's got to make you feel really good.
It does. I think that there's maybe a belief, maybe a confidence that hadn't been there in the past. And I credit this coaching staff to that, and I credit to these kids. It would have been very easy for them to pick their toys up and get out of the sandbox at the beginning of the year when things weren't going very good, and they haven't done that. they've kind of stuck to the stayed the course, and held fast to the things that we've been trying to preach to them and tell them. And so credit to those guys. And now the trick to it, the tough part about this job is continuing that. But obviously the way that we're going to do that is to approach this next game the same way that we have this past 2 games, and it's just a 1-0 mentality. A 1-0 mentality. All we're worried about tomorrow when we come in, all we're worrying about is getting better from this day. Okay, putting this game to bed and getting better from this day, and then Tuesday when we go out to practice, we'll worry about Tuesday's practice and so on and so forth. And if we'll continue to do that, I think we'll continue to find ourselves in successful situations on Saturday.
No scoring drive longer than 2.5 minutes, Coach. You feel like you had the greatest offensive game plan against TSU?
No. I felt like that our kids competed at a high level, and they were very efficient in what they did. We protected the ball very well. We were able to catch the ball very well. We didn't turn the ball over, and we got a couple of turnovers. And I think ultimately that's what led to the success that we had.